Hello gamers! Welcome to a little game called Rimworld. This is something that I was put onto a couple of weeks ago by a friend of mine. No, about a week ago should I say. It was released a couple of weeks ago, about 3 weeks ago now. And I've been playing it for about a week now. And I really love this game. You probably noticed, those who've seen a few of my videos, that I have a tendency towards some of the survival games. You've probably seen a few of my Flight Sim Elite Dangerous stuff, which is something I do enjoy doing. Outside of that, you'll also notice that survival games are something that I do enjoy playing. This one has a very unique quality to it. It's very much based on a kind of story mode rather than just freeform sandbox survival. And one of the selling points that they say is to do with the actual AI that does, so to speak, writes the story. And so let's get into it. We're going to start a new colony, just so you can see it right from the ground up. We're going to work with the Crashlanded option, which gives you give 3 survivors. It gives you a whole bunch of stuff to start with, not too much. You'll find Rich Explorer gives you a lot more certain things, but only 1 survivor. Lost Tribe gives you 5 people, but a lot less technology to start off with. I find Crashlanded 3 people, but a bit more base tech to work with. I kind of like working with that at this point. I might try some of the other ones later. You can edit those scenarios, of course. Down the bottom here it says Scenario Editor. We can do that. But for now, we'll go next. There's 3 different storytelling modes. There's the Cassandra Classic, which just steadily increases foes, enemies that attack at you as the game progresses. Phoebe Chillax, which as it says here, gives a lot of time between disasters to relax and build your colony, but beware, if she sets a high challenge scale, she'll hit as hard as anyone. So yeah, there's a bit more relaxed in waiting between events, but when the events happen, they'll still be appropriate to the skill level. Then you have Randy Random, who doesn't care about rules. He'll just generate random events, doesn't care if they make the story a triumph or utter hopelessness. It's just a completely chaotic world to work with. Yeah, obviously I'm not going to go with that at the moment. I'm going to go with the Phoebe Chillax for the purpose of these videos. I'm going to set it at the rough level, so we're going to have to deal with some stuff along the way. Not a huge amount, not impossible, but it's not going to be a complete easygoing world. There is a permadeath mode, which means that you cannot roll back to previous saves. You have to go with that one save that you've got. So any events that happen during the game, you're stuck with those events happening. You can't go back and undo things. I'm not going to do that at the moment. So expect that there may be times during this where you'll see everything seems to be going according to plan. No really bad things are happening. A lot of that you might find, I'm not going to lie, I've probably rolled back and just not put that in the video when got over here. Shrubland, arid shrubland, okay. And then you do it plain old desert. Growing period year-round. So here's some of the areas where we get this year-round growing. So that's what I'm kind of looking for. The next thing is I want marble and granite are 2 major prerequisites that I want Granite, marble, and slate. Okay, well, they're all pretty heavy-duty stones to get there. I would like sandstone. In fact, I might see if I can get granite, marble, and sandstone. Well, there we go, right there. Ah, but we don't get all year growing period. Euro and sandstone and marble. Let's see what we can get. Let's see if we can pull off the ultimate in what we want. I want this temperate forest because I do want a lot of trees to begin with. That's sandstone, marble, granite, year round. That's my ideal location. The terrain has large hills. I don't know how that's going to come into play. I haven't actually dealt with large hills yet. Climate, pretty temperate, so I don't want any real cold weather bunnies in my group, so we'll see how that goes along the way. And we'll go into the advanced options, and we're going to make it, I'm going to try this ludicrous size, even though it says it may cause some problems. We're going to give this a go. If it doesn't work, hey, we may start again with another world. Well, let's select that site. We're starting off with Smash the Barkeep, who is good at mining, which is a handy thing to have. Not really going to be a researcher or anything like that. Has some shooting skill, not passionate about it. Has some cooking skill, again, not passionate about it. We do have a chef here, so we've got a passionate cooker. That's good. And we've got some interest in research, which is handy. And then we've got Hurl the Assassin. Has a lover called Tristan Smash Morris. That one has no relationships. This one has Axel Hurtle. Okay, so these two we start off are already a couple. So that's a handy thing to have to start off with. Well, I don't know about handy, but it's interesting to start off with two characters that are already a couple. There are such things in this game as same-sex relationships and things like that. It does go that far. We have this one other male, so here he's a bit older, but we got the one single guy and we've got a couple. And you'll see that they do actually have backstories to work with. And so you can see here, Axel was raised to become an engineer. For years he planned to stow away on a cargo ship and start a new, more adventurous life. One night, after his parents fell asleep, he managed to sneak on board a cargo ship just before it left port. So he ran away. And then he ended up becoming an assassin. Was master thief, working mostly with organised crime. I guess because he ran away from home, he ended up in crime. And so there you go. He's also really good with animals here, so that's going to be a handy thing. He does have a scar on his left arm. Other than that, we do have... Okay, so I did think that crypto sleep sickness was something that they all start with. But only she is. So what you're going to find, he's going to be throwing up a bit at the beginning of the game. So, other than that, they're all capable of pretty much everything. This one doesn't want to do any dumb labour or cleaning. This one's not really capable of intellectual or crafting sort of stuff. So, we've got a good all-round base to start with though. So, let's get in the world and let's see how we go. The three of you awake in a crypto sleep sarcophagi to the sound of sirens and ripping metal. You barely get to escape the pods before the ship is torn apart. Sometime later, you land on this unknown Rimworld. As pieces of the shredded starship fall to you around you, you start making plans to survive. So you basically landed. This is pretty much the spiel it gives you every time when you use the crash landed option. So we go okay on that. First thing I am going to do as soon as they land, here they are, and I'm going to pause the game because there's a few things I just want to set up first. We want to collect up all the silver, components, all these things with X's on them. Now, what we do want to do, first of all, I need to find this one who's a passionate shooter is going to get the rifle. The one who has the next level of shooting, which is this one, they're all capable of attack. Some characters are pacifists. Those ones will not attack other characters. This one will equip with the pistol. This one actually has good melee, which is handy, so he can get the plasticine knife. We will get them collecting all the food rations that they crashed with. There's chunks of steel here we need to pick up that they're going to be resources we'll be working with. Wood is a resource we'll be working with. We do need to collect all of that. There's some more steel over here. There's a lot of steel to pick up, which is handy because steel is really important in certain aspects of the game. So it is very handy to have a lot of it to begin with. And we'll have a bit of a look around at the environment. Now we'll zoom out and just get a idea. Now this is a much bigger landscape than what I did deal with on previous games. There's a lot of map here. A lot of terrain. We did go out to maybe about where these rocks were on previous versions. We've got some animals out here. That does look like Megatherium, so there's some animals that are kind of made up names. He does look like he's probably going to be not a nice guy to try and attack. These wild boar, very good for meat, so it's handy that there's a few of them around. Hopefully they won't all get eaten by this guy, because we do want to hunt them down once we're prepared to. Of course, we don't want to hunt them all at once because their food will go bad. If you've got refrigeration, the colder the environment that the food is stored in, the longer it will last. These guys also, these muffalo, they're actually pretty good to hunt and provide a pretty good amount of meat. So they're going to be handy to keep an eye on too. So for now, it looks like this rock here might provide with some good shelter for us. We could use this steel wall here as a base, beginning of our base. We can upgrade it or change it as we need to, but I'm just looking from a defensive purpose. We want to look at what's available. We've got some sandstone walls there, limestone walls, some more steel walls. They'll be good to deconstruct and get some steel later when we need it. But I'm thinking this wall here, there's some more steel, compacted steel in here. So there's some of the basic stuff we want to get to begin with. We can actually see as you move around, down in the bottom left corner, you will see that it's telling me about the ground that the mouse is currently on. So you can see the rough sandstone there, does reduce speed. And then we've got just some basic soil there where we can grow crops and stuff, which is an important factor. There's two things we want to do first of all. One, we want to start making some beds. Second thing we want to do is we want to start growing some crops, because that's a handy thing just to have food started that way. Obviously we can hunt the animals for food, but having these other, now we've got these raspberry bushes I want to keep an eye on too, because I can harvest those as we go as well for food. Food, obviously, survival game, food pretty critical. To begin with, we are going to build, and we'll use the wood to get started, and we are going to build some bedrooms, because when they're sleeping outside and not sleeping in beds, very uncomfortable. Mood is a critical point of this game. So I'm going to start just building a basic bedroom there. That's just one single room there that we will expand on. Now, because we have a couple, we do want to actually give them a room together. So I'm going to make a room that's a little bit bigger to accommodate them. So that's just the walls. You then can put in some floors, and again I'm going to just use some wood on this one. I will dig out that wall and expand as we go, but for the time being the last thing I need is, it's a structure, is a wooden door, and that will give us the basics to build a bedroom. we really need to prioritize. We do want to see who's good at construction. Construction 2, construction 7. So this guy here, we're actually going to get him prioritized on working on the walls. We also want to start looking at what trees can be chopped down in order to get some more wood, because that probably what we have there is probably not enough. And we shall see who's good at... I'm not exactly sure what the deal is as far as chopping trees down and stuff. I don't know whether it comes after crafting. Doesn't really say here, so I think I'll just select anyone who's not the guy who I've prioritized. He's good at mining, so theoretically, you never know, I might be able to prioritize cutting the trees down with that guy. So at least we've got the two guys working on the areas that we need. We'll start the game off. And away they go, starting to do their thing. First of all, it comes up saying, Hunter lacks a weapon, which is interesting. I thought I told them. No, they haven't picked up their weapons yet. That will come along the way. If we have, once we've got the rooms built, I will get that taken care of. So you can see they're putting some floors in. This one here is just helping on the construction anyway. Guess he didn't have much else to do. What's this guy doing? He's just wandering. So when you select a character, it'll actually tell you what they're doing. Now, they've got a pet warg as their pet, which theoretically is a good attack animal. You get wild ones, of packs of them come in and attack. They might be a handy guy to have as their pet when it comes to raid time and stuff, because I think he may... We'll see how it goes when a raid comes, because I might send him out to attack and see how well he does. In the past, I've had like cats and things like that, pretty useless animals when it comes to a survival scenario. So that one's a really handy one to have. I think what I'm going to do before anything else right now is I'm actually just going to save. And I'm going to save over, just because we're doing a YouTube video, I'm saving it over the YouTube save. Just so I remember which one is in fact the one I'm using for this Let's Play. You can see there they're talking to each other. Now the roof's going on because it's complete. What I can now do is I can start building some wooden beds. I just build a single one for him and a double one for these guys. Yeah, as I said before, the one who has the sickness, he's starting to throw up. He's not feeling very well at all, because that was the one that I believe under the health, I'll go select him again, has the crypto sleep sickness. So that's only a temporary thing until he gets over his the cryo sleep scenario. This guy, okay, I'm just going to pause again, because we want to double check. Under needs, it'll actually show here, love a smash, so smash and hurtle. I believe it was hurtle. Yep. So it's singleton. How appropriate. That's going to be easy to remember. Singleton is the single character. So when I select the bed, I want to assign that one to singleton. So that's now his bed. And when this one's complete, I can actually assign two people because it is a double bed. That'll keep everyone, because they are lovers, they're very happy to live together. They don't like sharing bedrooms unless they are actually in a relationship together of some description. The next thing I need to look at doing, now that we've got that under control, I'm actually going to start doing some planning, which under the orders tab we can actually plan. So we've got a double bed scenario already underway there. Now that one could probably be, just to match things up, I'm going to plan that one a bit bigger, and then I can probably over here start working on a kitchen. So the kitchen I'm going to make a little bit bigger. I'll actually bring that right down, because it's not just going to be a kitchen. Just quickly finish off the plans for these bedrooms here. The kitchen, I think we shall put... Now I'm just trying to work out here how I want to do this. Because we want to have a meat preparation area. We want to have a storage area. Essentially a refrigerator. And then we want to have our meals and eating area. So, because that's the direct entry into there, we'll make that the eating area. We shall then clear that area off there into, I guess that will be just the main storage area. And then in here, we'll make this one a little bit bigger. Because we will make this the food prep area. We can actually start making some of the things for the food prep area. So if we actually go into production, one of the things, obviously a butcher's table is one of the first things we need in order to actually to slaughter the animals that we catch. So I could put that, if we put the two things along the corner there, so that'll slaughter the animals. Then we need a fueled stove, we'll put that there, that we can use to cook the animals once they are slaughtered into just raw meat. Now what we need is some stockpile zones. We're going to put a stockpile zone there, and this whole thing is going to be a stockpile zone. We shall make a doorway, so clear that area there. So we'll have a doorway that goes between the two, so that when that is cooked, it can then be taken and stored in here. This particular area, so we can allocate what we're going to store in each area. We just clear that so nothing is stored. Then we're going to choose under foods. We want to put cooked meals, prepared meals in there. Raw food style, we will put vegetables in there. Then this one here, again, clear all. This one is only going to be storing, actually, what I also want to add to there, which we don't need at the moment, but just so I remember it, under the raw foods, animal products, we want to store unfertilized eggs. We don't want to store fertilized eggs there. That will come in later elsewhere, because we can start getting pet birds, turkeys, things like that will lay eggs that we can store. Insect jelly, we could probably store that in there too. This one here is going to purely be under the raw food. All meat is going to be stored there, and animal corpses. We don't want to put our humans in there that die, or mechanoids. They don't like seeing human corpses. It does affect their mood, so that's not going to be in there. We will have to work out a place to put them later, away from the main community. And so now the last thing I'm just going to quickly do is allocate a door into there. What I might do is fill that back in, just for I don't know if this is good or bad feng shui, is to have the doors flowing like that. I believe that's actually bad because it creates a continuous flow out. You're supposed to break it up. I really don't recall. Someone might want to comment on that. I will continue the game playing again now that we've got that area sorted out. Probably not going to be super important right at this moment, because this will come in more play, or we will probably start hunting some animals. But for the moment, we're just going to store some stuff in there, have somewhere to store the items. Raspberry bush, that's at 98%, so I may as well harvest that. I think I heard an animal getting hurt. No, it's just a raccoon there coming in to check out the situation. Where is our gunman? There's our gunman. I'm going to get him to pick up that rifle. Get it started. Then we've got the guy here. He's not good melee. There was a guy who was good on melee, so I'm not going to... I think this guy's already picked up... Yeah, he already picked up the pistol. This is the good melee character. He's going to pick up the knife. I might get him to hunt, not the raccoon for the moment, but there was a rabbit that I saw a moment ago. There he is. And then what you can do is allocate him as being available to hunt. And you can see he's already pulled his gun out and he's starting to shoot at that rabbit. Not being a very good shot. You'll actually notice that if I pull up that character, that's Hurtle, and look at his stats, you'll actually see the progress to next level. Every time he takes a shot, his actual skill is increasing. So it won't take too many shots before he gets up to level 10 on his shooting. Mind you, he was doing a terrible job of it. It had to be sitting right in front there, and you see he's automatically taking it to the food prep area. So everything is going along the way there. The last other thing we want to do here, we want to just allocate some more area. We might just leave those guys working. And we're going to allocate some area more to some more bedrooms, just to get that. Because down the track we will get lots and lots of guys. We kind of want to work on developing a bedroom area. We'll make maybe a small hallway along here that will then allow for another bedroom area over here, just to get the plans underway there for how we're going to do that. This is where I think it was good to actually continue this a bit wider. We'll actually do it like this. This is why planning is good, because we don't have to build all of this stuff. We can just plan it and then work it out and modify it later. And the reason why I want to do that, we can modify rooms to suit our needs as we go. And for the time being, I'm going to make these single rooms. So you can kind of see here where I'm just moving the stuff around. So these are all single bedrooms. And we'll do the same over here. So we're kind of actually planning two hallways of bedrooms. I won't do all of the fill-in at the moment, just this side, just so we can see clearly that that's going to be another set of bedrooms over here, with a hallway across to it, joining the two lots up. Over here now, we want to make another room that's going to be like a workshop area. In here, we need to put, under production, a simple research bench. Put that over the corner here, saying there's not enough steel stored. So hopefully they'll pick up some more of that steel that's lying around. We don't have a storage area to store all that stuff, so it'll be interesting. For the time being, we're going to set up just a very temporary storage area. Stockpile zone. We can put over here, just to put general stuff so it gets stored away. You can see someone's already harvested berries, put them in the berry location area. There's a raspberry bush right there too, 2 of them. That's kind of amusing. Okay, our research bench is already in place. We're going to choose to research stone cutting. That's the first thing we need to do, because that way we can then put a stone cutting bench in, and on the stone cutting bench we can start working on all of this sort of turning all of this stuff into materials to build stone walls and so forth. So with all of this in mind, I'm actually trying to think that the actual front entrance to this place is probably going to be over in here where the kitchen sort of area is. We'll allocate here by removing that to say that that's going to kind of be the front door entrance to where we're going. I might even be inclined to remove that and just set that as one big hallway. And I'm also thinking we're going to put that in place, remove that wall there, and let this open up to one big wall. into this one big room here. Hurtle's already started to do some research, which is very good. You can see it's also starting to get to night, so it's a good thing. We've got that bed. We need to allocate the was it Smash and Hurtle to that bed. So now everyone's got beds assigned, so everyone's going to sleep tonight rather happy. I think this is the first time I've managed to get everyone in beds for the first night, so that's some progress for you. There's an ostrich wandering in to say hello. I believe they are also good. They produce a large amount of meat. Probably want to start looking at some power, which will develop out the back here. This actually looks like what I do want to find. There's a steam geyser over there. Is there any steam geysers closer to the building? Because they're actually really good. You can research power that you get from the steam generators that come off the steam geyser. What's that there? That's some compacted machinery. We can get some components from that. There's a timber wolf. I've been wondering whether they're worth taming as allies. There's another steam geyser right there. That's a mile away. That one's a lot closer. So with that in mind, I'm almost inclined to start working on my power supply way over here. But we could put 2 in there and it'll just have a little gap in between. And then let's put a wind generator in over here. We won't quite have enough room for 2. We will need a lot of steel in order to get that under control. So what I'm thinking I'm going to start doing is allocating some orders to mine this steel area. Everyone's currently asleep, so not much is going to happen now until morning. That's the end of day 1, and it's probably a good place to leave it just for a first episode, just to give you a basic introduction to the game. Thank you for watching. I hope to make some more videos as we progress in this world. But for now, thank you and stay tuned for more Rimworld.